Delegate Jennison. Okay. Delegate Marshall.
Bob, I went and I circled all the areas where there's changes in the bill that's in front of us, because I'm trying to understand the difference.
Right.
At line 44, actually at line 46, there's an expansion. A lot of the testimony from the folks that you had speak was about there's a medical diagnosis by the MD, and what I want to focus in on is this applied behavioral analysis, okay, and try to understand it. In the definitions, it seems the major changes are between sort of lines 44 and 53, and also around 57 to 59. And I think what the changes are is that you're adding licensed clinical social workers and other caregivers to the list of folks that would either be involved in sort of compiling the treatment plan, or making the diagnosis, or providing the inpatient services. Can you kind of just summarize for me briefly why these changes were necessary for your bill?
This is a little more precise than the original bill. The original bill implicitly had this. Applied behavioral analysis is the preferred treatment. The Surgeon General has indicated that 30 years of clinical experience demonstrates that the applied behavioral analysis is the one that benefits the children the most. I mean, the major change in this is what we got from the insurance commissioner, dropping the 25 to 50. And what that would do, the reason we went down to 2 instead of up to 50, there's roughly 7,000 families with autistic children. If you go to 50, it would mean 5,000 would be covered. So you drop 2,000 kids. The only difference is instead of 0.56 100ths coverage increase, it's 0.60 100ths. So it's 4 100ths of a difference.
Right. Gentlemen, I know we've got a number of questions. We have also got people who are sitting up here who have commitments in other committees that they are supposed to be at and have been holding fire here for a while. If there's something indispensable, we can take questions. If not, we'll hear from Delegate Marshall. And very briefly, we've got 4 other measures, and you know the full committee comes back in 35 minutes. So we've tried to offer you some time. If you could summarize.
Well, this is the classic example of pay me now or pay me a lot more later. One of the parents of an autistic child, a mother, told me that the state of Virginia is now paying roughly $1,000 a day because her child has been lost. We cannot lose any more children. We've covered here the entire universe of all private coverage. We didn't go to the state. I'll go there if you want to, if you'll vote for it. But to say that you wouldn't send a lifeboat out because you could only save 70% of the people in that airplane, God forbid that happens again, nobody would say that. Nobody would say that. We need to do something now. You can't count on the Appropriations Committee doing this. There's a bill that I believe will pass the Senate and come over here again, so you're not going to avoid this. Senator Holtzman has it, and Senator Saslaw is much more favorably disposed to that, and he is the majority leader over there. So I think you're going to see this again if you don't decide to vote it out now. And I just note, Mr. Chairman, for the record, that 2 of the members of the subcommittee who indicated they would vote for this are away. One, Delegate Hargrove, is at the War Memorial, and Delegate John Ward is at the wake for Delegate Bacote's sister. So I'm down, and if that is the difference, I would just hope that you would just report without recommendation and let the full committee hear this, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. What's the pleasure of the committee? There is no motion.
Well, silence is not really a morally acceptable answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Delegate. Next bill we have is Delegate Rust. Delegate Rustin, House Bill 1726. Delegate Rust, House Bill 1726.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. This is House Bill 1726. It relates to group life insurance, and there are changes in the first 30 lines, but I will point particularly to lines 19 and 20. That is the essence of the bill. What this bill does is extend the group life insurance beyond the current class of individuals that it covers to, quote, any other class of persons as may mutually be agreed upon by the insurer and the group policyholder. What this does is currently it's basically limited to spouse, children, that type thing. This would extend group life insurance to